Welcome back to Enjoy Beekeeping, everyone. Well, you know, I said it over and over and over. I'm not going to buy an extractor when I go see Dr. Leo. I'm not going to do it. I'm always going to crush and strain all my honey. Guess what's in the box? An extractor. So I thought about it. It's actually something I've been considering for a long time. Now here's why I recommend you don't buy an extractor. First off, if you've only got maybe 10 or 20 hives or less, it's a big investment. So if you have the money, then by all means do it. I'm running roughly about 20 hives, and I've been doing this for about 12 years. Now, up to the point where I'm at now, I've run up to 75 colonies. Now, keep in mind though, I was raising nukes. So for a while I was doing some sugar feeding, which I no longer recommend, and I gradually weaned off of selling as many nukes as I used to because I stopped feeding them. So what I was doing was I was only allowing the bees to develop their own size and strength on their own without any kind of artificial stimulation like sugar feeding. So for the past 4 years, that's what I've been doing. So I haven't done any type of treatments at all, and that's since day one, with the exception of essential oils. I was doing essential oils. All that stopped though about 4 years ago. I don't treat with oils, I don't give them any kind of sugar, nothing. It's just whatever the bees can do to survive on their own. So as a result, my nukes would always come in late in the season, relatively speaking, compared to everybody else. And that's because everybody else was just pouring sugar and corn syrup on their bees, artificially stimulating them to grow big numbers of bees so that they could be split way before they were really ready to be split. So a lot of people that get nukes from me, I do it old school. I do it the old-fashioned way. So I let the bees grow to the size that they want, and if they're ready to be split, I go ahead and do that. Once in a while, I can even get a swarm up in one of my fruit trees. And then by all means, I take that swarm and I put them in a nuke box and raise them up. So I'm not raising nearly as many nukes as I used to, maybe about 20 or 30 a year, so I'm down about half. Now, for 2021, what I'd like to do, and I'm in my shop right now, and you can see that I've got some lay-ins hives already constructed for my next beekeeping season. My goal for next year is to double the amount of hives and colonies, whatever you want to call it, the number of colonies that I'm running, from 20 to 40. And I'm not going to run them all in the same spot. I've actually got two friends that are in about 15 minutes one way and 15 minutes another way from my house. So it's beyond the 5-mile radius that my bee yard bees can reach. So this will be good so I don't oversaturate the area with bees. So I'm going to set up 2 more yards next year, and I'll probably put about 10 at each of those 2 yards. So I'll have 10 at one yard, 20 in my own yard, which is about as many as I really want to run here on my property, and then another 10 on another property, which will then allow me some room for expansion if I decide to up it in the year 2022. So that's the long range plan, and the short range for next year is to just double what I'm currently running, and these are going to be production colonies. I'm not going to be running these as nukes, where the minute they get to be about 15 or 20 frames, I'm splitting them. I'm not going to split them unless they are at that point where they need to be split, but I want to see if I can harvest more honey next year, and then I can sell that honey as honey that comes from bees that have absolutely no feeding and no artificial stimulation by sugar or any type of treatments. So I believe, as Dr. Leo teaches in his class, that this honey can be sold at a very good premium price. And I think there's a good market for it. I know I personally will shop organic if at all possible, and I want as many things as I can eat that haven't been sprayed or treated with any kind of chemicals, and I'm sure there's a lot of you that feel the same way. So that's my goal for next year. So I'm going to unbox my honey extractor and hopefully take it for its first spin in just a couple more days. We've got one more week or maybe 2 more weeks of really nice warm weather here in the North Georgia region. So hopefully, if all goes well, I'll get this put together and I'll be able to have maybe a video on the extraction itself, or I'll combine this video with the extraction. So I'm really excited about that. So if your goal is to run 20 or more colonies, I think this is probably a good investment. And so I was kind of right at that point, right at the edge. And I told my wife, I said, look, first off, Dr. Leo's extractors are made in Europe, and they have really good engineering. I believe he said it's made in Germany. I'll have to double check that. So I think he has a motorized honey extractor, and maybe it's what I'm thinking is the motor is made in Germany. Now I've got the hand crank one that is in the box here. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that these are made overseas, and they've got super high quality, and there's a couple features about this. I think it's got a wider diameter, it's a wider diameter extractor, which allows for better extraction, and it will also hold not just the Layens hives, but it will take Langstroth as well, and anything that probably fits anywhere in between it'll take too. So I'm pretty excited about that because it's really a universal extractor. So I'm going to unbox and let's check it out. This was inside. This is probably what I was looking for. I was a little worried it wasn't there. Now I have the hardware I need to put it all together. What I love about this thing is that there's no instructions. So this is perfect for a guy. We don't read them anyway, right? There's only a few things that you got to put together. So the way I look at it, if I can't figure it out, I don't deserve this. Here it is, standing on its own legs. Good deal. Let me show you a couple of shots of this. All right, here's the top view, looking down in the baskets. So you see there's 3 baskets. And that's how you can control the speed just with your hand. I believe this is the same one that Dr. Leo uses. He has a hand crank as well. And I think he does it for the same reasons. When you do hand crank, you have less risk of blowing out comb. So I don't wire my frames, so it's going to be a test. I just use the dowel, and it's going to be a test to see how well that works. Okay, so there is the extractor that I said I wouldn't buy. You know, the way I look at it, once more, I'm going to try to make myself feel better about spending all that money. First off, I saved about $100 in shipping just because I picked it up right at the class. So that was a good thing. And then secondly, you know, if you think about how I get wood for free as much as I can, or get it as cheap as I can, I'm able to kind of squirrel away some money that I can use to splurge. So this, by all means, this is me splurging right here. I went 12 years without one of these, and I could probably go longer, but I decided for all the money that I save on lumber, all the money that I'm not spending on treatments, all the money that I'm not spending on sugar and corn syrup that other people do to feed their bees, I'm going to put it here. And I think this is a good way to spend the money. So I'm really excited. This is my new toy, and I'm looking forward to using it and showing you what you can do with one if you do decide to take the plunge and get one. So that's it for today, friends. I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to show you this thing in operation as soon as possible, so that's coming. In the meantime, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to check out more videos, and give it a thumbs up, and other people can check it out too. So until next time, friends, enjoy beekeeping.